Auntie's back. So we moved locations because what we do is roll with the punches. It's a beautifully rainy spring break day. Everybody's home. So we moved locations. All right. So I am going to talk to you tonight about something um, that I don't know. It's a quiet thought that I'm saying out loud. I don't know if it's popular. I don't know if other people have felt like this at any time. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you what's in my mind. Okay, so disclaimer, anybody who has ever met me, you we don't have to be close, we don't have to be anything. You just had a conversation with me. Knows that I love my children. All of them. I love them. We'll go to war for them, all of them. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to tell you that uh, I enjoy being an aunt and a grandparent way more than being a parent, way more. And I think it's because being a parent weighs different. So let's evaluate my little thought and go get you a drink. Come on back here so we can talk about it. Okay? Hey, I got mine. You got yours? All right, let's get into it. So, I had my first child at 18. Out of high school, right off the rip, have a baby. So, I I adored her. She was just this beautiful little chocolate drop. She was so beautiful, and so I had it in my mind all the things that I wanted and how it was going to be, and I also looked up to my sister who had a baby before I did. She also was married, and my sister is older than me, so she had her stuff together. So I really looked up to her, and I had a lot of insecurities, a lot of insecurities. So when Desiree was about 3, I got married, and almost immediately we got pregnant, and I had my second child. So now I am 21, 2 kids, and we move away. So my sister also had 2 kids, and I just went out of my way to be auntie number one. So I thought that, um, you know, I had an idea of perfection in my head. And I don't even know if it was because I was young. I think that a lot of parents start off with this idea of perfection. And so I wanted everything to be just right, just, fine tuned, everything all the time. And then from there, of course, I kept having children. So I ended up with 5 born children. And man, things did not go the way I planned. So let's talk about this thought I have about enjoying being an aunt more than being a mommy. So I think it comes from the weight of being a parent. See, for me, um, when things don't go right, um, or my kids make choices that hurt themselves, as a parent, I carry it. Um, Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about my adult children, so 30 and and 26, 23, he's in college, um, even 17, when they make decisions that are not wise on their own behalf, I carry that weight. I blame myself. I ask myself questions like, did I miss something? Or did I do enough? Or could I have done something differently? And the answer usually is yes, I could have done a lot of things differently. And if we're being honest, not only do I blame myself, but when my kids are upset, they blame me too. So, and I know I'm not the only parent with that story. Like, you made a bad choice, but somehow it's my fault that you made that choice. Usually just when they're upset. So, when you're venting, you got to have somebody to blame. But whether they mean it or not, it still lands real heavy. It still has that heavy feeling of, man, I could have taught them this differently. I could have been a better example in this area. And even though they're old enough, it's still hard sometimes to turn that responsibility off. So, what I find interesting is the same grace that I tell other people to give themselves, I don't seem to give myself. Like, um, we'll tell someone else, you don't need to beat yourself up. Um, you did the best you could with the information you had at the time. We don't ever say that to ourselves. We don't ever say, I did the best I could with the information I had at the time. I only did what was done to me. As parents, um, we can be some of the hardest people on ourselves. And sometimes we're carrying guilt that doesn't belong to us anymore. I didn't make you make that decision, but I can be here for you um, when everything falls out. But on the flip side, man, that auntie life is everything. It's a whole nother ball game. Well, it is for me because, you know, I enjoyed being the fun auntie. I enjoyed the water gun fights and, you know, giving the tea and getting the tea and running them around and making the crafts. And don't get me wrong, I did that stuff with my kids too, but it hit differently. My niece and nephew have a different type of love. It's not that kind of weighted love. It's like it's like you don't get the same pushback from your nieces and nephews that you do your own kids necessarily. So you don't have that pressure. If they don't like what you got to say, they just don't like what you got to say. So it's almost like even a different respect level almost. So I find that having that conversation or having when they were younger was just more of an easy kind of conversation. Um, Again, it's not the same pushback. And they gonna defend you. They gonna love they TT on down. And being a grandmother, woohoo! Being a granny, woo, ciao! Listen, Grammy life, You love your children, but them grandbabies, what you get them kids a little tap tap for, you better not about my grandbabies. It's the baking cookies, it's the running around the yard, it's the, it's just different. It's just real warm. I love being a Grammy. I hear my grandbaby crying, I'm out the bed. I'm running. Again, you do it for your kids, but it's just a different intensity when it's your grandbabies. What? Even my great nephews. We running. I'm like, let's get them pinatas. Let's get them drums, guitars, whatever they want. So much fun. And it just clicks for me being that grandma. It clicks. I enjoy it. Up all night making stuff. What you need? You like the sound of crinkling paper? I'll put it in a baby doll. And my husband's the same way. Enjoys being a grandfather. Ooh, about them grandbabies is different. And you don't get the same pushback. It's just a different type of uh, heart behind it almost. Mm-mm. So I don't love my children less than my nieces and nephews and grandbabies. I have adult children, college kids, big teenagers, whom I enjoy and I have a beautiful relationship with most of the time. I think the difference is in the responsibility level. There is a freedom in the enjoyment I have with the nieces and nephews and the grandbabies that I don't necessarily have with my children because of the responsibility behind it. So, again, you know, I don't have to question myself with my niece and nephew and their decisions because it doesn't fall to me. Um, but with the six superheroes, it does. It's like, okay, now I want it to be clear that, again, I'm talking about the older children. You are absolutely responsible for your 7-year old's decisions. You are absolutely responsible for your 15-year old. You need to know what they're doing and who they're talking to. You're responsible. but, but a 26-year-old, not so much, you know? So that's the difference. That's what I'm talking about. So what I am learning with the older kids is that it's not my responsibility to hold. Um, you know, it's not my responsibility what type of partner they pick. It's not my responsibility um, poor decisions, great decisions. We like to take credit, but in reality, our jobs are done. We can give advice, pray, um, talk to them, But in the end, the decision is theirs and theirs alone. And so I have to learn the shift. And then maybe I can have that same feeling that I have about, Grammy's babies or the niece and nephew. I do enjoy my children. They are beautiful, intelligent, well rounded children, and they are gifts. And really, it's not on them that I feel this way, it's on me. And thanks for listening. And I hope this helps somebody. I hope this grounded. And I'll see you next time.